Hey everyone, I wanted to start the video by talking about the immediate replacement parts and the cost of ownership from our 3 police vehicles that we purchased. This is our 2015 Ford Explorer Interceptor. We've got 10,000 miles on it so far. The immediate things that we had to do were put brakes all the way around. That'll cost you anywhere between $500 and $700 for the rotors and pads. It also takes premium fuel too, but it's been a very good and reliable vehicle so far. The next vehicle we have here is our 2017 Interceptor. Again, $500 to $700 for brakes. I upgraded these brakes to the Power Stop brakes, and I'll do a comparison between stock replacements and the Power Stops here. Again, only 500 miles on this. Takes premium fuel. It's been very reliable and really nice ride. Like the infotainment system on the 2017s as well, compared to the 2015 version. So this is my 2017 Charger. I've got about 5,000 miles on it. This would be the first vehicle I bought at the auction, so I kind of cut my teeth on this one. It had a broken radio knob, and we've replaced the coolant Y-pipe, 2 front axles, and the stabilizer links. The tires were good, and the brakes were good, and it's turned into this. This is Summit Racing paint that I airbrushed. And in another video, I'll show how to do this, clear coat it, and then I laid down some flat black. All right, so we're at the state and federal surplus here at the state of Michigan auctions, and we're going to roll right into the auction viewing area. So we've bought 3 state police vehicles so far, a 2016 Interceptor or Explorer, a 2017 Interceptor Explorer, and a 2017 Charger all-wheel drive. And so since we've got 3 successful vehicle purchases, I want to go ahead and go over how I inspect these vehicles and the process to hopefully help everybody out when they do their own police auction purchase. I'll see the Interceptors up on the right here, and then that's probably the Charger that we're going to look at as well. So we'll stop right here and hop out. Alright, so here we are. These are the tools you want to bring, like some cardboard or something soft, because you're going to be laying on the ground, and a good flashlight. So we'll get under these vehicles and take a look. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do without even starting it up is just walk around and look at the bodywork and see what kind of damage we've got. Really, we're looking for we don't get a whole lot of opportunity to drive these things around, just forward and backward. So you're going to try to gain an impression of the vehicle usage just from your eyes and ears and just a little bit of experience. So this one looks really good on the for the body work. So we'll take a look underneath here real quick and see what the underside can tell us. So I like to start right with the front. Get underneath here. Take a look at the undercarriage. That will give you an idea of if it's been jumped off over a curb and went out in a field and gone prairie cruising. You can see there's a little bit of damage here, but it's light. So this front of this looks pretty good. Doesn't indicate any damage on the front either. I'm also going to look at the tire tread. These tires are really nice off-road, not off-road, but snow tires. But just to get an idea of, again, what you're going to have to replace. This is also going to give you a maintenance impression, because not all maintenance is done equally on these guys, and so the Carfax is going to be real important to run, because then you can figure out what shops are better than others or what locations. We can go over that in another video. Okay, before I start the engine or anything, I want to go ahead and take a look at the engine bay. Take a look at the battery, see if they put a new one in. Usually there's a lot of corrosion, but it looks like this one has got some anti-corrosion stuff sprayed on. That's extra. You don't see that very often. Also in here, I see the antifreeze is full, which is good. And then what we'll do is take a quick look at the oil before we do anything with it. Oops, oil all over the place. Okay. Now to me it looks, put it in the light here. Looks kind of dark, not terrible. I've seen worse. And then again, we're just looking overall in here for plastic pieces that are broke, bolts that are kind of off-center. These things do get into small fender benders and have repairs done, which you'll see on your Carfax. So you're going to want to do a Carfax on whichever ones look good. That one looks like it's got a good amount of brake fluid. Also, I've seen these hoses. When some have been in a front impact, they're not put back on correctly. They're loose, which can cause a boost leak. Alright, so this one doesn't look too bad in here. Actually, it looks pretty darn good. Okay, again, underneath here, try to get an idea of the history of the vehicle just by observing. Looks like it got a new exhaust under here, which is a good idea, right? But it may also indicate damage, like maybe this thing went off-roading. I do see some yeah, looks pretty good under here. Doesn't have that many miles to necessitate a brand new exhaust, so that would be a warning flag to me. Again, I'm not telling you how good or how long these vehicles are going to last. I'm giving you what I would interpret as a risk rating. Like, is this riskier or is this more of a question? So I would say that would increase the risk for me. Okay, popping the door inside. Again, before I even start it, I'm getting an idea. Seat looks pretty good. It's not all blown up or worn. This is not too bad. Interior has both of these lower pieces, which is important. Looks like these things are on. This is normal for these auctions to be hanging off. So the interior of the vehicle looks pretty good, considering. Well, it doesn't look too bad at all. This is looking like a pretty good investment. You'll have to watch under here. These like to rust out pretty bad, and I believe it's because of the rear wheels maybe throwing water up here, or I don't really know the reasoning behind it, but some of these things are rusted out pretty good on that rear door, so you want to watch for that. Okay, so this is passenger door. A little bit of rust there, but the interior looks pretty darn good, considering. Okay, this is all looking pretty good. Not a bunch of weirdness or broken knobs and stuff like that. I like the 16s. This infotainment system is a lot easier to use, and so is the steering wheel buttons, than a 2015. Like I said, we've got a 15 and a 17. The 17 is definitely nicer on the interior, and this is a 16, so it appears that 16 was the first year they started that. So 16s and 17s have the nicer interior. Okay, so what I like to do next is just get into the vehicle for a second and kind of just look around. Take it slow, just kind of observe things, make sure everything's in the right spot. Try to start smelling and start to really use your senses, because again, we don't have a whole lot of area that we can drive these things. So I've been in them before and they've smelled like a sweetness, which usually indicates antifreeze leak, either heater core or something like that. So let's listen to the engine here real quick. I might have the wrong key. Okay, here we go, right, correct key. So again, let's listen and try to smell. Yes, I know the door is open because I opened it. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll turn the heat on and turn the fan up. Okay, give it a second. Let's go out and observe the engine. Okay, I don't see any leaks or weirdness, any weird sounds. Washer bottle's full, that's a good sign. Somebody cares and actually took time. Alright, so you're not allowed to drive these very far. So what I'm going to do is just, oh, the door made a weird noise when I closed it. So let's see what's going on here. Oh. So this is where they run the wiring. So that's something you'll have to repair, like maybe the clips inside there. But again, you got to use all your senses here when you're investigating these. So I got the heater on, and I'm smelling for antifreeze smells. I don't get anything, so I'm just going to turn that off because it's plenty warm outside. And I'll turn everything off so I can hear if there's anything weird with the transmission when I put it into gear. So, okay, that sounds correct. Brakes are grinding, which is normal. You always have to do the brakes. I give it a little stab of throttle. Nothing weird. Reverse, there's no crazy noises from going into reverse. Give it a little stab of throttle. Comes back. I'll do it one more time just to get an idea. And yeah, looks nice. Ooh, the 16s have a backup camera. Very cool. Our 15 doesn't have that, so everything sounds good, and the transmission responds well. So I'll go ahead and turn her off. So on the whole, this 2016 is a good buy, in my opinion. It has very low risks that I've observed. Tires are on good, all the fluids are filled up and look good. No crazy sounds or noises. Transmission is responsive without any clunking going into gear or reverse. Tires look good. I would do a Carfax on this and then compare where the maintenance was done with other 2016s. But this one, in my opinion, would be a good investment with low risk. So I'll go ahead and show the number on here, and you guys can take it from there. So here's the 2016, went for about $10,900. You got taxes on top of that for 108,000 miles. I think that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so this is a 2016. This is right next to it, and right off the bat I can see that there's some porosity or damage, maybe rock damage, that's knocked the paint off. These hoods are aluminum, so you're going to get this oxidation when the elements hit it. Again, same vehicle, exactly the same year, but we can already notice some differences in
in the body itself. So we'll keep looking here and see what else we find. Okay, so this one's a little special. It's got the tray in the back as well. Normally it's just this gray divider, but looks like you can carry all your weaponry you need in the back of this. Okay, so the interior of this looks really good too. I was hoping to find one to contrast with the other 2016, but this is pretty nice too. There are some smellies put in this one as well, so either the officers cared about what the vehicle smelled like, or they smelled something terrible in here and trying to cover it up. But either way, this is interior looks great. Let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, we'll pull these freshies out for a second. Turn the heat on, max. See if we can smell anything. Which I don't. I don't smell any antifreeze. So let's go out and take a look at the engine and listen to the engine real quick. Okay, so there's a, if you look in on this side, pretty wet on that knob. I'll have to research what that knob is, but that kind of tells me that either the cap is loose and stuff coming out of it, or anyway, I'm not really going to diagnose it here, but again, they're talking about risk, and that's an indication to me that something is not stopped from Ford. They don't send them with wet caps, so we'll have to just investigate that further. Antifreeze looks good and full. It looks looks great at the top, which is the hot level. Or no, wait a minute. No, that's the cold fill range. So it's within normal operating. Again, the windshield washer fluid's full. That's good. Shows somebody cares. Brakes are good. Fluid's good, looks clear. Battery's in great condition. Usually they got corrosion all over them, but yeah, again, good sounding engine, no weird smells, and all the fluids look like they've been taken care of. So very low risk here, except for I would want to see more about this, and you can actually see, if you can get in there, there's drops of fluid on the box itself. Maybe that's power steering. I'm not sure. I didn't have to research it. Yeah, see? Could be just from somebody throwing fluid in it and then spilling it all over, but why would they throw fluid in it? Unless it was either low or they had a problem. So, again, I'm not going to diagnose it. I'm just going to talk about my initial interpretation. Okay, so as we took forward and backwards, there's some fluid on the ground. It doesn't smell like anything. Maybe it's just some sort of condensation, or there's some water left over somewhere. I can't really tell what it is, but the other vehicle didn't do it, so that would kind of be a warning flag that I would do some more investigation on that. It's kind of smells like salt water or something like that. So anyhow, looks really good. The brakes are really good on that one. They'll still need to be changed probably within 1,000 miles, but if I was going to pick, I'd still pick the 69103. That would be my, there's a lot less risk with that one from things that I can see. So We'll keep on.
Okay, so Explorer or Interceptor number 2 went for about $800 less than the previous one. Still think that's a pretty good deal for a all-wheel drive, twin turbo EcoBoost, fun little hot rod. So.
Okay, so this is a 2018 that we just kind of stumbled on. It only has 70,000 miles on it, so we're just kind of checking it out to see what's damaged on it, because those are pretty good mileage, especially with this engine type. Looks like there's a very tiny amount of damage here, but the engine compartment looks all good. The oil, antifreeze are all full, so there's no big red flags here. The reason it's a tow out is because it was in an impact, and you can see on the side here the rear door is shot and the front door is banged up. So you'd have to kind of take a look at how much work you're willing to do. This is something I could probably do in my garage, so we're just taking some just shopping here, taking a quick look. So I'm going to check the undercarriage here real quick. I checked the front end. It does not look like it's been prairie cruising, so that's a good sign. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look underneath here and see if I can figure out what kind of history I can tell just from looking underneath. Okay, take a quick look under here. Turn my flashlight on. Okay, so you can tell there's definitely more dirt under here. Not that it's a huge thing, but it could be, with the amount of rust and dings in it, could be a lot of secondary roads where the vehicle is used. A little bit more rust, even though this is a 2018 than the other ones we looked at. Let's see if I can get a light on here. Move this up so I can see. And you can see even where the seams are sealed together, there's rust all the way down. So this kind of indicates to me that this has been on dirt roads, which isn't terrible, but it's just something you need to be, help you draw a picture of what you're purchasing. Alright, so this is the other side of the vehicle. You look at, this looks like rubber, maybe tire damage. So I would imagine, I mean, I don't know for sure, but maybe the vehicle was hit from the driver's side and driven into another vehicle. And their tires tore up this side. And the damage continues up here. So not only do you need doors, you need to do some fender work as well. Okay, looking inside the engine compartment, I don't see anything leaking or looking weird. The engine sounds fine. That little clatter is the direct injectors firing off. They're louder than a normal engine. But I don't smell any antifreeze. I'll check inside the vehicle, but yeah, at this point, she looks pretty good. Okay, so there's some water underneath here. Again, that must be just left over from the rain or something. But the vehicle has substantial brake failure. They're very, very spongy, and definitely going to need calipers and sorry, not calipers, but discs and pads for sure, maybe calipers. But there is a clunking sound too when you put it in reverse. Something's rolling around back there. I can't really discern what it is. It'd take, again, more time and investigation. But hey, 70,000 miles on the engine and trans, so yeah, if that works for you, bid on it.
So here's what the 2018 went for, $7,400. I think that's high. I don't think I'd have paid that much. Doors are usually $300 on Marketplace, and if you have to get them on eBay or from a salvage yard, they're $600 or $700. Fenders are expensive as well, so I think you're going to have a lot of money wrapped up into this, and then a bunch of mismatched doors. So it depends on what you're looking for, but yeah, I don't think this is a deal for me.
Okay, so let's take a look at a Charger. I've got a Charger myself. It's a 2017. I've done some work to it. Right off the bat, you can see that there's a wet spot underneath. Maybe it's from the rain. Let's take a look. Okay, so underneath here is a good indication. If you bring it under, you can see that it is quite wet on that side of the radiator. Can't really see if I'm getting that view or not. Yep, and actually there was just a drip, and that would coincide with the pavement being wet. And you can also see there's no air dam, so this thing has been prairie cruising, as I like to say. So it's been off. Somehow the air dam's been torn off underneath. So I would say that this is a higher risk purchase just right off the bat. These radiators that are on these Chargers, the police Chargers, are not the heavy duty ones. They are a V8 radiator, but they're not the biggest you can buy. So right there's a red flag for me right off the bat. Going around the body, it's in excellent condition. Probably one of the best I've seen for the Chargers that are out here. Very few dents and scrapes on it. Just very minor ones. The only real ding I've seen so far is on the gas can lid, or the fuel tank lid. Even the front end of the hood is in really good condition. Usually these are way chipped up, and these are aluminum hoods, and they'll corrode. Like here's one piece of corrosion, but this is really body's in great condition on this one. Tires have great tread, so they've probably been swapped out once already. Quite dirty. See, now this is a big red flag to me. If you come over here and get a view of the side of this, you can see that the antifreeze is way down on this. Yeah, it's way down at the bottom. So you see cold fill range is way up here. The antifreeze is way down at the bottom of this. So this is definitely, this engine is probably, again, we're hypothesizing here, but the engine is probably overheated. There is risk here. And if you come over on this side of the engine, you can see there's a wetness over here. Now that can either be, I can't really smell anything, so it's possible it's oil or fuel. Maybe an O-ring is missing. Okay, getting a little closer, I do smell hints of antifreeze. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's coming from the front or here. Either way, that's a big red flag to me. So you know you get some heating, heating and cooling issues. Well, heating issues, cooling the engine, whatever. Bad. So I'm not going to start this up. There's really no need. I'm not interested, and I don't think anybody else will be, unless they want to get it for the body. A little bit too much risk. I mean, I don't really need to fire it, so we'll just move on. Okay, so we're going to pan in here and show you where the power steering is. It's all the way over here underneath the washer fluid bottle, so you can't really check the power steering unless you take the front clip off or come in through the side here or even underneath. So just so you know, when you're maintaining these vehicles, it is a pain to get to the power steering.
Alright, so this is the 2017 Charger with the antifreeze leak underneath it. 11.3. Wow, I don't know. I don't think that that would be the price I would have paid, just looking over the condition, even though the body was immaculate. Yeah, I would have just been a little too afraid of overheating issues, but hopefully everything works out for them.
Alright, so we're going to just drive by a couple of the vehicles here so you can get an idea of what's going now. The ones that have the stickers in the windows are active auctions. Without stickers are going to be upcoming auctions. So this will give you a quick browse into what is going to be listed. The 15 Charger. 2015 Explorer and 18. Number 15. Up ones. So where I see the opportunity here is you might be able to get some of these banged up ones cheap if you need body parts. And if you have an upcoming project where you want to do a 5.7 liter, looks like there's going to be a Charger coming up. Don't know how everything looks on that. It looks pretty banged up, but it's definitely worth a look. So anyway, okay, so we're on the way out now. This is going to conclude this section. If you have any questions, hit me up in the send me an email or hit me up in the comment section.